Good morning and welcome to this Mark's Reviews and Tutorials video. Today we're going to be switching out a panel on this car right here. Now when it comes to panels, sometimes you are able to repair the panel and sometimes it just clearly needs to be switched out. This one was a bit of a line ball, but I've decided to switch it out. Mainly it's become very loose. You come back here because it's been stretched. It's got a crease here, it's got a crease here. It's had a lot of damage through here, and then particularly down this front edge here. It's not showing up too bad on the camera, but that's very, very damaged as well. It's all been pushed back in. Top corner as well is also damaged. So I just deemed it's easier to replace this guard than what it is to try and repair it. Another guard, I did try to get one from a wrecker's, but not available. So we've bought a brand new guard and then sent it off to the panel shop to get it painted. It's a BMW, so I wanted a better job than what I was going to be able to come up with. One of the big advantages of having a panel like this ready to go on is you can look at your fixing points and you can work out where you're going to have to unbolt this thing to get it off. So you can see here, there's some fixing points here on the bottom. They're up this side. There's fixing points. There's certainly a lot right there. There's actually a frame coming back this way in the car, and then the bumper bolts onto the bottom. And then the ones we all know about, you can see every time you lift the bonnet, there's a row of bolts right along the top there. So we know all about those. And then there's the plastic that goes on here. I've got a mud guard, a mud flap on mine as well. Then that has to be taken off and refitted as well. So we're going to get started. And to start off with, we're going to take all these bolts up here and in behind the door. And we're also going to jack the wheel up and take it off. Because of how much work's in there, I don't have a hoist, so I'm going to take the wheel off, jack it up, put it on a jack stand, so I've got plenty of room in under here for all of this work around the plastic and the wheel lining. And as I said, I've got a mud flap on there as well, so all of that can be changed out. Okay, so the wheel's off. That's just going to make it so much easier to get this plastic liner off, all the bits around, and also where this guard joins here onto the bumper, you can see the bolts are going to be up in there. So again, so much easier to get to here from in underneath. So we're going to take all these clips out and loosen this point so that we can get to the bolts that are bolting the guard on. Go around the guard. They are actually a one-time clip. You see they have that little center bar in them, so I can pull it out. See that there? It pulls through, and when you push them in and then you pull the center bar back, and that causes that to flex out, so it holds in place, and then it snaps off when it pulls out. So even when you've got one here that are popped out a little bit, you can't pull it because that's just leaving it all flexed up like that. What you need to do is actually push it back in and push it through. That'll allow that to come down, then you can get the plug out. So you've got to press the centers in, and they are, as I said, they're a one time, because once you can't then pull them back again. Another quicker way to get these out is to just get a blade in behind there, and all you got to do is actually just cut through that top edge of the rivet. So they are pretty tough, but give it a go on that top edge, and then bend it down with a screwdriver like that, and then I will put a link to a pair of pliers. These though, when I travel to different countries, I often go to a tool store and buy tools from different countries. This one came from Russia, so I'm not going to be able to give you a link to buy one the same, but I will put some links to tools in the description. See that's off. So you just got to sort of cut the top of it, open up a bit, and then rip it off with a pair of pliers. That gets them off. And that, I've got one more, then we'll take that black plastic guard off. Then down under the guard, down under here, you've got a couple of plastic rivets. I've got a speed nut in there because of the mud flap, but there'll be two of these plastic rivets. You just get in under the top edge and pull them out. They're not single use. Pull that top edge out, and then that'll come out, and that will loosen up this panel here. The clips holding this here panel on are these guys here with these little bullet heads in them, so they clip in and hold. Mine has also, because there's clearly been work done on this before with this damage on this panel, there's a bit of black silicone in there holding things in place and well, but basically that's where the clip goes, and it goes into that little white bit. So you're pulling straight back once you've got this off. Just keep going around and pulling straight back. It's a little bit different down once you get to the bumper bar here. You see the clips are now on the side, and they've just got this little bit here that needs to press in. Do require sliding down, so don't ever go using a screwdriver in a painted area, something you're going to keep. Get yourself a trim removal tool or a panel removal tool, something like that. Then we can slide that in and that'll take it out. I just got that panel removal thing onto it, and by sliding it in I could press that down, which then released it. So that is now off. Now we've got access to that guard. No longer attached to the wheel lining all the way around. As you can see, there's been a silicone put on. These are the clips clipping in and out, here, and down here on the guard as well. Okay, so we're still going to have to get to these bolts here. So we're still digging into this. So there's a couple more screws to take off here. You've got your inner lining bolts. There's one there. There's one up the top. And that'll enable us to get this whole thing back. And by the way, that one was an 8. The one up the top was a 10, just for a bit of variety. But now with that panel, just get that over that thread. With that panel down, you see all of a sudden we can get access to these bolts right here, which is where the panel is bolted onto the side there. Here, you can see there's one bolt, some Torx screws holding that bracket in place. So now it is the faster bit. We're going to remove this panel. You don't want this to drop on your head or fall off or anything like that. So don't take all of these bolts out when you take them out. We'll take all the side ones out, all the ones from the front here, but leaving a couple of these so we can lift this off nice and safely. These guys here are also 10 mil. Okay, so the one that's up high in the door, easy, 10 mil. We know about the ones up the top. We've undone the 10 mil and the Torx in there. Down under here, we've got a couple more 10 mil. And in there, if you have a look, there's another bolt hole there I saw on the other guard. That's the back of a bolt. So that is something that has to be undone from the inside. So we're gonna have to get in behind this liner here. Okay, so the last bolt on the side, instead of just being nice and easy, getting it from the outside, is actually up there behind the washer bottle. He's just up in there. So I'm going to get a flexible on it. Hopefully it's not too tight. Get a flexible 10 onto it. Okay. So this bottom bolt down here is just off the planet ridiculous. As you can see, the back of a bolt is sticking through there. I went and checked on my other F25 just to make sure this hadn't been reversed or something like that, but it's exactly the same on the other F25. And it is right in behind the washer bottle there. I have managed to crack it. I used a ring spanner. Again, I'll put a link to all the different tools. It's a 10 mil, and I was able to get a 10 mil ring on it and just start it. So I can keep on going with that, but I'm trying to get something on it, like a flexible bit here, like I've got on the drill, a flexible bit on the drill. If I can get that on, then we can just turn it and spin it right out. I've also got to be mindful of putting the new guard back on. I can get some tin snips. I've just grabbed them. I'm tempted just to just chop that off, and then I'll be able to get at it. As you can see, I've already bent it up out of the way in order to get to that bolt. But it's a ridiculous one, absolutely crazy. There's no need for it to be that hard. It can come in from the other direction. You could get at that with a spanner from this angle and from inside the door. So it's just nuts that it's the wrong way around, but it is, and we've got to get it out. So I'll keep on persevering.